Hey y'all, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Oh boy. Alright, so if you guys didn't already know, yesterday the US basically striked Iran. Um yeah, okay. I don't want to say that. As I had mentioned in my other videos, and basically we are now entered a war with Israel and Iran. Okay? So I wanted to look at, Iran's birth chart, and I'm going to tell you first what I see here. Okay, we're going to talk about the strike back because people are like asking, is Iran going to strike back? And that is a yes. I mean, you don't have to be a psychic to know that. Of course, they are going to retaliate, but I looked at their birth chart, and interesting, their Mars is in Virgo right now. This is the current transits Sunday, June 22nd, and I'll tell you the dates that I see a strike. But I wanted to talk about first their Mars is in Virgo, which means that they're being strategic. They're not trying to be as reactive towards the US right now. They're playing this role of being more strategic with their plan, not being super impulsive with this strike right now. So they could, they might kind of be something about the communication as well, okay? With Mars in Virgo, and then you have Mercury in Cancer. But I feel like they're 10 steps ahead here, okay? That's what I feel strongly. Like they're 10 steps ahead. They're being very strategic with this. Okay. So with that being said, they're being very strategic. And if I look at their chart and their Uranus currently, I'm going to show you Uranus right here is in Taurus, okay? So with this being in Taurus, which is very interesting, I feel like they're gonna strike back by, if I'm gonna give a time frame, I would say late June, early July. Maybe specific days between June 29th to like July 1st, 2nd, maybe 3rd. There will be a retaliation. Okay. So it is June 22nd. So I'm going to say this between June 22nd or June 23rd, their time, to July 3rd, I see a retaliation, but I'm getting strong early July energy. Something big will happen around July 1st, July 2nd, okay, with this transits here from Iran striking either a US military base in the Middle East, which I think I mentioned in my channel messages that, they were going to strike back, and then Trump was going to get very upset because it's almost like, he was going to feel mad, and it was like going to strike more involvement in a war. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to the US, and I'll tell you guys, look at the US chart right here. This is from July 4th, 1776. This is when we basically founded the country in the state of Philadelphia. Sorry, the city of Philadelphia in the state of Pennsylvania. Now, if you look at their Uranus, it's in Gemini. And every time a Uranus enters Gemini, there's always a war, okay? So the Revolutionary War, which is interesting, was founded when Uranus was in Gemini. And the same thing happened for the Civil War. And this happens every 83, 84 years that Uranus enters Gemini. And this also happened during World War II. So Uranus officially enters Gemini July 7th, 2025. Okay, and it'll be in Gemini till 2032. So interesting how this is kind of aligning here. So I'm going to say this. And also with Trump's having a 28 degrees Mars Leo, I told y'all he was going to do it. you know, with that Leo energy, it only makes sense why he'd be involved. It's kind of like a pre-planned event, meaning that astrologically, this was destined. Okay, I don't think that it was a mistake. I don't think that it was this. It was like it was going to happen inevitably, and it was fated to happen if you look at his chart. Okay, now let's see what I see here. I feel like we are going to enter, yeah, we are going to enter a war. I mean, we basically already have, but I don't think World War III is here just yet, even though it feels like we are in a World War III right now. But I would give it within the next 2 years that we really go into like a big war. This is really nothing right now. This is just more so a snippet of what's to come within the next several years, but specifically 2026, 2027. I see us already being involved in a big war during that time. Okay, so that is my prediction. I predict Iran will strike around July 1st, July 2nd. They'll retaliate, a big retaliation around that time. Um, yeah, I mean, it could be tomorrow. You know, I would say give it between June 23rd to July 1st, 2nd, possibly the 3rd. But I'm sticking to that prediction around it being around early July. So July 1st, 2nd, something could be significant, and something could also happen. You know, on July 7th with the United States. So yeah, that's my prediction with the charts, and that's what I see, and I will keep you guys posted.